the dark energy keeps going up to this room. When I went in there, it was meowing like crazy. But anyway, there are a lot of dark energies around, and people who are overly sensitive to this will actually feel the energy more, because this is what energy is. And if you are in survival mode, which is coming from the limbic brain, which is the back of the brain, when everything is about money, it's about you're gonna have enough money and you're gonna have this, and you worry where you're gonna put your money, and what's the hurry? What is the hurry? There is no hurry when you are in alignment with your connection to the source, whether it's God, whether it's the Godhead, whether what you ever believe in. And this is where, in a few days' time, released in Indonesia, is a movie called Disclosure Day. It's released in a lot of places all over the world at different times. For example, it's released in October in Japan. So why is it released in the UK and countries like Indonesia, and America is actually a few days after the UK? So you think it was an American movie, it would be released in America first. But every country has the consciousness it deserves, based on the manipulation in that country, based on the corruption, based on what you can see and what you can't see, and how people or politicians are really serving themselves as opposed to serving others. Now, whatever you say about the President of the United States, the countries that are not complying with the tariffs are the ones that are suffering. They're still holding on to this old model, this old guard that you must pay your taxes, you must be a good citizen, and then when we get funding for this and that, where does all the money go to? The illegals in the country. So there's no money left for the people. And yet, who suffers? The people who pay the taxes. But these taxes were never introduced into the realm or earth until the 1700s, when the good old British Empire started to tax everyone. So every country said, "Oh, we'll tax everyone." But how much infrastructure do you see going on in your country based on the tax you have paid? Do you think it's good tax value? Because they're still finding another tax. So when you, let's say, for example, you pay your mortgage off, which you never do because the bank still owns that, and then you die and it's left to your siblings, and then they fight over the what is left, and then they have to pay an inheritance tax. When does it stop? So this is what the tariffs is. The tariffs are based on, if you want to import export goods to certain countries, you've got to pay a tariff. And there are certain countries in the world that are paying tariffs. So instead of looking at war and whatever's going on, because the war is your mind, I talked about the war being boots on the ground, the art of war. Sun Tzu, go and read the book, go and do the research. So, where is your consciousness currently? What are you fixated on? You fixated in fear, worrying about what's going to happen next? Why don't you go and look at the movie Disclosure Day? Because everything in that movie is real. And what happens to religion after they find out that there are people from other realms that have technology far superior to any of the technology that we see and we feel and we touch and we look at and like we listen to. So you are basing your wisdom or your knowledge, let's say, on the five senses when there is the unseen. So that's why I like cats, because you ever see a cat that's just looking into the oblivion and like not seeing, like seeing something that you can't see because your eyes are not programmed to see that, because you've been mind swiped, you've been led to believe that your God is better than anyone else or your beliefs are better than anyone else. So if you have a dog and a cat in your house, your dog will see something or hear something, but your cat will see something totally different because they're working in different dimensions. A dog is more in the fifth dimension, a cat is more in the fourth dimension. But you will only find these things out when you do your research. The energy is crazy, but it's the first time the planet has been aligned for thousands of years. And if you are uncomfortable getting sick and observing and absorbing instead of just observing, things aren't going to end up pretty for you. Because when disclosure comes around, you will head will be all over the place. So prepare yourself. At least go and see the movie. It's time to change your core beliefs based on your reality, or the universe will throw you under the bus because it's given you enough warnings. COVID was the big psyop that you ignored, and you went back to your material ways. Oh, I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to lose everything. There's people in the world that don't have anything, and you're worrying about paying your mortgage. You're worrying about like paying for your nice car or your nice handbag or whatever. When are you going to get back to reality? I remember like when I was growing up, like my mother didn't have a lot, but she gave me good morals and she gave me understanding. If this person is good to you, then you're good to them. Hey, go and see if that woman's okay. Help her with her like shopping. Go and like feed this woman. She's got no food. Sometimes my mother didn't even have a meal. She didn't have food put on the table, but she's still looking at other people. So what you don't see is worth seeing. What you don't believe in is worth believing in. Because as we look at this cat again, walking around, you can see it in the it goes. And here he comes, or here she comes. This is your reality. Be like the cat. Be like the cat. He has a message, or she has a message for you. All the cat is looking for is love, unconditional love. But every day you take away love from your family, your friends, your pets even. What is your reality?